Hello!
Welcome back to the HNU podcast with your host, Himle and Urvashi. If you can, like, subscribe and share
if you like it.
What is your love language? Do you know the love languages?
There's words of affirmation.
Yeah.
It's not physical touch.
Physical touch.
Physical touch. Gift giving and receiving.
Yeah.
Quality time.
Mm-hmm.
What's the fifth one?
See, that's one I struggle on with as well. I don't know what the last one is. They're the main ones, to be honest.
Yeah. Imagine the fifth one's the one that most people might go for.
I don't know. Well, I put it up because what do you think yours is?
I think it's quality time, or did I say that already?
Is that yours?
I think it's probably quality time, yeah. That is my love language. Followed by words of affirmation. But to be fair, all of them are quite important.
Do you know what? Words of affirmation don't do much for me.
For me, it's more like giving out words of affirmation because I find myself doing that a lot more.
Mm.
It brings me joy to bring other people joy through, compliments and stuff.
Mm.
Well, what's yours?
Oh, mine? Mine is physical touch, I think. Yeah. Words of affirmation sometimes. But majority of the time, yeah.
Yeah. That's understandable. I know that we've spoken in a previous episode about fight languages, because that is also a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we were basically saying what ours was.
So explain what that is again, because I think I've forgotten about fight language.
Fight language. Okay, so the same way we have love languages, the 5 that we spoke about, including the 5th one we forgot about, we also have fight languages, which is basically how we deal with fights, arguments, and also just like when we're upset and like, what we do. Mm-hmm. Mine is very much I need the time to cry it out, be on my own, think it over before I'm able to even express myself. And actually I have to really think about what is going on. Like, why am I reacting this way? Or what's going on with me? Why can't I compromise? Because I feel like I'm a very understanding person. But when it comes to things when sometimes I feel a bit off or I'm upset about something, it takes me some time to process to pinpoint what's actually going on. So for me, I like to take my own time. Like, I like space. Right, when I'm having an argument or whatever, I like the space and the time I need to process things. Yeah. Then I can come back and cry out with you, personally cry alone.
Understandable. Because again, also you could say things in that moment that you don't really mean.
Exactly.
Because you're just angry at that point.
Yeah.
And hurt people. So
exactly. So I prefer to just stay silent, walk away, cry out, and then come back when I'm able to actually solve it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes you just need that time and space, But I noticed with you very much like to deal with it straight away. I feel like when it comes with me anyways.
The thing is though, I have to have an understanding that not many people are going to want to talk about it straight away. Mm-hmm. But the way I like to work it out is by trying to find the main source rather than trying to give like, I don't know, paracetamol that just only numbs something.
Yeah. I
want to get it sorted right now. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, I feel like with me, once I found out what it is, I want to straight away get over it. Do you get what I mean? Like, go and talk to that person, and then we're both able to, like, move on, kind of thing. Whereas because that's the best feeling is like afterwards, you've gotten over it. You guys have been through this, and it only makes you stronger once from there on, really. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
So you've experienced that, did you say?
Yeah, 100%. Like with everyone that I've ever known, I feel like if something comes up, obviously there's people in my life where we've never had an argument, and that's amazing because I guess like we just talk through it straight away and there's nothing to have to like go away about. But I think sometimes when you just need to have that time and space, you're like, oh, this is getting too deep, or I can't talk about this right now.
Yeah, no, it's better for everyone if you do feel like that, and that's the thing that you want to do. Here's the thing with that: there are certain times or certain points where you can't wait. You've got to get it done right now because time is, something that you can't get back. And the longer you wait, the less of a chance that you could get it sorted out in a better way.
Yeah. I get that. I think it depends on the person because I feel like there are a lot of people where they'll be like, there'll be a lot of clashes within fight languages, which increases the argument. Like you said, like if I was that upset, angry, and I needed to go away and do my own thing, like cry out, whatever, and you won't let me leave because you want to sort it out right now, I'm going to get more pissed off because I'm not getting what I need, and you're going to get more pissed off because you're not getting what you need.
But again, that goes back, like, going back to me saying, like, I understand that people are not going to be like that.
Yeah.
So
You just let it go and let it breathe for a bit, and then and that's the way to get past it. Is we're both compromising, and then
I don't think I'm more compromising than you are. I feel like
on certain things I agree, but there's other parts to it where I'm like, no, I'm probably more compromising. Yeah.
Go on then, name them now.
We don't need to name them. This ain't no competition.
I ain't a competition, but I want to know now. Tell me.
Well, no, we don't need to go into it. Fuck you.
Okay, no, fair enough. Let's not go down that route.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Love language. Do you know what? I don't remember us talking about it.
It was like 20, 30 episodes ago. But I do remember talking about it. I remember most things that we talked about.
See, that's the mad thing. When I've recorded it, I just don't remember it. Straight away.
I have the same thing, but only for, say right now we're recording, like 2 seconds after I've hit, like, we say bye, you know, the whole conversation gone out of my mind because we've spoken about it, we've understood it, and, like, you know, that's all it takes, and then we've got, like, gone. And then when we're editing, I'm like, I remember us talking about this.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that makes me remember it, is when we watch the edit, when we're editing. And then when it comes, like, later on, if we talk about a subject, I know if we've spoken about it or not.
No, but I mean, like, let's say we've recorded it 2 days later, and someone would come up to me and talk to me about that specific thing.
Oh,
I don't remember. Like, I don't remember that conversation. Because it's done, and I'm, like, just going through the day, whatever it is. You know, it's so mad. I could just switch off completely. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's not always a bad thing, because in a way it's kind of like, we've done it, we've recorded it, you know, we've registered it, we've put it out, whatever.
Yeah.
Then it's kind of like we're on to the next one.
That's what it is. Like, once it's out there, it's out there. And whatever happens to it, what happens, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, in a way, it is a good thing to have that, yeah.
Do you think you communicate your needs as well as you possibly can?
Definitely not.
Okay.
I don't think well, it's a weird one with that. I am aware of the needs that I have. And I think earlier on, unintentionally, somebody must have let me down. And so I don't bother telling anyone my needs sometimes. Do you get me?
Yeah.
Someone must have, like, upset me to a point where I said I can't really tell people my needs. Yeah, I find it very difficult to do that.
For me, I understand what you mean, because I feel the same way. But for me, it's like, well, now that I know that I've been upset and exactly what, I've actually deeped it to the point where I'm like, okay, I know what's happened. And I know now not to... For me, it was a question of reliability, right? And now I'll rely on myself 100%, but when it comes to other people, I'd never rely on them. There's certain things and certain people, of course, like parents and stuff, where you're like, okay, I kind of have to... Like, I need you for this.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for most things, I would just try and do it myself. Or, you know, if someone says they're going to do something, I won't have that expectation there. It's more of like I avoid expectation, because when I was younger, I would have a lot of expectations about, like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to whatever. And then it won't happen, and I'll be disappointed, like, very disappointed. And so now that I'm older, I've realised that, okay, well, if someone says they're going to do something, I'm not going to hold out expectations, because if it doesn't happen, I'm no longer disappointed, because I'm like, all right.
Does that then lose a lot of your trust then issues? Do you feel like you got a lot of trust issues then? Because I believe, this is where my head is when you say that, I think that trust of someone actually helping you would be more than you feeling like, I don't need to expect that person to come through for me.
No, it's like, you know, when you know the amount of people, not even amount of people, you know the people that will do that, you'll have, like, in your head, subconsciously, you'll know, like, who are the people that have come through for me. Doesn't mean they'll always come through for me, right? And also, even if they don't, that's okay.
Yeah.
And so, for me, it's always been like, I'm not gonna... If someone says something, all right, cool, you've said it, awesome, but I'm not gonna hold you to that, you know?
Right.
Like, I've never been the type of person to be like, right, you said this, why are we not doing it, you know? Maybe I should be more like that, but for me, I've learned over time to just let it go. And to just be like, okay, well, now I know that I want this, cool, I can go out and do it for myself. I don't have to have other people for that.
Right.
Whether it is travelling or, you know, just things that I've wanted to do for my whole life, and maybe has been said that we would do it, and then it's just not happened.
Mm-hmm.
I now know, like, I carried that with me where I'm like, okay, well, you can still do these things. You just don't have to expect it from other people to be there for you. Not be there for you, but, like, be there with you or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I could do it on my own.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
I guess
a good mentality to have.
that did boost my, like, independence from then on, which I feel like is why I've been so independent since I've been young.
Okay, yeah. There's still little things where I'm like, you could be more independent in.
Like?
Waking up without anyone having to actually wake you up.
Yeah, but that's more like, I need to sort out my sleep schedule.
Yeah, but then that is on you, right?
Yeah, of course that's on me.
And let's say, like, knowing that you actually had someone waking you up, would you wake up? Because right now, you are definitely relying on mom or dad waking you up.
I don't rely on anybody. In fact, I don't want them to wake me up. It's more like, I want to sleep. Don't wake me up.
Bad. That's
No.
bad. Especially if you've got
That's
things
not
going
bad.
on. But here's the way my problem is. If you are not relying on anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they actually do help.
Yeah, then obviously you have that even more, like, gratitude and appreciation because you didn't expect it. And it still happened. They still came through for you.
Right.
Whether you had to say something or not. Then obviously you're like, thank you so much. That means so much to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't expecting that to happen.
Do you
Or I
think
didn't expect that from that person.
Do you think you'll start having expectations once that person has done that?
More of a want than an expectation. It's more like, obviously, you desire people to, I don't know, pick you up or whatever. Whenever you feel like, okay, I can't be asked to take the bus, can somebody just take me kind of thing. Then, of course, you'd want it. And that comes down to communicating your needs. Like, can you, like, would you bring that up? I do bring it up.
No, with stuff like that, yeah, that's easy. Because then you know what you want or you need. That's the thing, yeah. I know what I want.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything as needs.
Okay.
In a way with love stuff, you know? There's not things that you need, there's things that you want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what I want. Trying to tell someone what I want without sounding like, oh, I want it, give it me, like kind of thing. Give it me. I don't want that stuff. I want the whole, just us just figuring it out together.
Yeah, no, 100%. Mine was more in a sense of with anyone and everyone, right? Not just necessarily down the love route.
Just with friends and family.
Just with anybody in my life.
Because in that case, in terms of communication and everything like that, mine is A1. I give myself a distinction star. In terms of communication, I'd say.
Okay.
Because I am on that.
All right.
Let's say that we're going to go on a night out. I'll message the people the night before, like a regiment, guys, are we still on for tomorrow night? What are we going to do? Where are we going to meet up?
Okay.
What are we going to drink? Cool, that's what I'll relate it. Oh, if I'm late, guys, I'm going to be running late, 10 minutes.
Okay.
Not hiding it. Oh, guys, I'll be there in 10 minutes. They're there like 20, 30 minutes later.
So, with me, you are not like that.
What do you mean?
With me, you do not relay information.
Yeah, do you know why? Because you're an outsider.
There have been... Do you know what? You do not include me in a lot of things. Whether it's family or... Well, obviously not friends. We don't have the same friends. Except for some. But, yeah, no, you really do count me out.
Do you know what
Even
it
with
is?
family stuff.
Do you know what it is? I just forget. Like, genuinely, there's no disrespect, no me not maliciously doing stuff like that. It just is just always been like that.
Yeah.
Do you feel a certain way when I do that?
Obviously.
Why do you get upset?
Yeah, I'm getting upset right now.
Oh, because you get missed out on certain things.
It's just... I don't know. I didn't think I'd get emotional. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's the heat getting to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get upset because I don't include you in some of the things.
Not some of the things. It's just like the things that I'm expected to be at. Like, not... I don't expect it, but I'm like... If I've been told by cousins, like, oh yeah, we've spoken to him, you've been invited, blah, blah, I'm like, I've not heard about this. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, fair.
Like, when I hear
To be
about
honest,
it...
I didn't even know you would get involved. Like, here's the thing, with that communication part, sometimes it can get a bit wishy-washy, especially with family. So, if you're referring to the Chris Brown concert thing...
I wasn't referring to that.
Well, what was
So
this then?
Well, See, there's a lot of things where it's like cousins planning.
Yeah.
I'm always counted out by you specifically. Everyone else will be like, oh, we've spoken about it with him. So I'm like, yeah, but I wasn't there kind of thing.
And also,
you know
no one actually tells me that you're involved. I was just thinking, come, we're all together.
It. They assume you'd know. Do you get what I mean? If everybody else is like... But it's like, I don't know, it's just... It does feel like you purposefully do it out of spite. I know that you don't, obviously, because I know you.
Yeah,
but it does feel like that sometimes.
Oh, I'm sorry, it feels like that.
It's okay.
I'll try to include you in more things.
I doubt it.
I'll try to.
You'll just forget about me again.
No, it's not. It's not forgetting. It's honestly, it's just a case of like, because it's always been like that, and it's only just recently where we're all starting to do things together with girls. Mm-hmm. It's automatic. It's been like an automatic response with the guys. Like if Ritz and Dee were hitting us, yeah, cool, we'll do something this day. Cool, cool, cool. In my mind, it's still the same as it was before. Mm. That's not an excuse. That's just the way it just seems. Because again, like you admitted it, I've already said, I'm not purposely, missing you out.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Fucking hell, I can't believe I just cried. Yeah.
Yeah. Stop crying.
I'm trying to. Fuck you. But yeah, you don't relay information to me as well as you do with other people.
Yeah. I apologise.
It's okay. I think it is a thing of like out of sight, out of mind. I think it's just, it hurts when I do that for you all the time and it's like not reciprocated kind of thing.
When do you do it for me?
Oh, all the time. People are like, whenever any plans are made, whether it's with family or like, no, well, not really with friends again. We don't have the same friends, only a couple of people. But even then, I find out a lot of information from you last minute, like literally day before, day of, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I have my own life too. I have shit going on, you know?
Fair. Mm-hmm. I guess just for you, that's what it's always like with me. Yeah.
And I said that. I said, it's just with me then that you don't really... Yeah.
Well, if it's you, then there might be more people. I guess I just don't realise it. Mm. However, with the experiences that I've had and the people I've spoken to, I'll give myself A- then.
A-.
A-.
Do you think you can recognise when there's a boundary that you need to put up with a certain person? Are you good at recognising it? And if so, how do you bring that up?
I think I'm good at setting boundaries, real good, yeah. Mm-hmm. Trying to put me in like a situation where I feel uncomfortable. I used to not know how to deal with it, but I think I've gotten really good at knowing when I'm not feeling good and being okay with going, I need to take a breather. Mm-hmm. I need to go somewhere I'm just not feeling well, or I'm feeling, I don't know, just not right. Sometimes I don't even have to say anything because I'm like a ghost.
You just walk away.
I just walk away. I mean, how many times has that happened?
Yeah,
so many times I just walked away.
There have been times where like, Mum's like, where's Emily going? I'm look at her. I don't know. Dude's just chilling, isn't it? He's gone somewhere. Yeah, I always just remove myself from wherever it is. If it's with people, I don't know, I get a sense of this feeling when I'm speaking to the person where I'm like, I'm not saying like I'm not going to get along with the person, but it's also like, I'm not going to force a conversation. We can talk, and if I have something that I'm going to say, then and I'm interested, I'm going to say something, yeah. But if I've got nothing to say, I'm not going to try and force it, Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more like the vibes, right? You can sense when a person is a certain type of way, or you can kind of sense their reaction to things or how they'll try and get things out of you. There are some people where you can just feel like they'd be like that and like kind of manipulate you in a way.
Yeah.
Sometimes right off the bat after meeting someone, you can be like, oh, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do that today.
There's only a few people I've met like that where I'm like, I kind of feel like my life is in danger sometimes.
Yeah, no, it does feel like that.
And I'm like, oh, I don't like feeling like this.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to go. Yeah. But it might be nothing.
Could be.
They say trust your gut, but I don't know. Sometimes it's weird because then that means more of your anxiety kicks in, and then that kind of takes over, and you're like, I don't know now.
Yeah, I think there's only ever been one person where I've sort of not really let them in, but like hung out with them, and they made me feel like question myself, like what's going on. When you like the psychological signs when you know someone doesn't like you, but you're still like there, and you're just like asking yourself like, why am I doing this? At the end of it, I'm just like, why did I do that? I was like, maybe I need to just like chill out a bit.
Yeah,
I don't need to.
When I was like younger, I didn't really know if someone liked me or didn't like me. I just knew that there were some people that were mean and some people that were not mean. Yeah. But it's the ones that are not mean that do it sneakily that are the scariest ones, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
like snaky ones.
Behind the back.
You don't know if they are messing you about or not. So
yeah. No, I've definitely learnt my lesson with a lot of friendships where it's like, okay, you were never a real one to begin with. Yeah, I've always been there for you. That's not going to be the case anymore. Like, you weren't there for me, and you've in fact backstabbed me, so goodbye. Kind of thing. Yeah. Then I'll just disappear.
Yeah. I think I've had a lot of like people that I've become friends with over the years, and then I've just not become friends with. And it's so strange how two people you used to like really hang out with for a very long time just become complete strangers. And it happens on a day-to-day basis, It's just interesting.
It is. It's kind of mad though. Like I'm learning that like, yeah, okay, friends come and go. And people come in your life for a reason, a season or a lifetime, I think it was. There was a quote in something I was watching. I think it was XOK. But yeah, and it's true. People do come in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? I think even if they come in your life for a season, it's still for a reason, right? But the ones that are for a lifetime, you can kind of just like, as time goes on, you can see them in like events that are like way far in the future, like for example thinking about like weddings, right? Like when you know that you have a friend that you're going to be at their wedding and they're going to be at yours, right? That's when you know it's
your
like
kids and like
that's when you know like that's a hardcore friendship. That's a lifetime good kind of friendship, right? And then there are those friendships where you're like, I like this, I like spending time with you, but I know for a fact that we're only temporary friends, or like, the people that are kind of like just friends with you for the time being because of, say, when you're in education for that time period, like for college, for uni, for whatever. There are those type of friends as well. And then then there's the work colleagues that could become friends, but then there's also like, I've not really experienced that side of it yet. Like, would you say your work colleagues are your friends?
There are some that are colleagues, there are some that are friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like some of them past it. Some of them have
straight up.
Yeah.
But I've made a lot of good friends working just in the working industry. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
there's an education time, and then there's also going out in the real work world and like learning there. And I've learned so much more like that. In terms of people, in terms of just like building skills like that way.
Yeah, you've got really good people skills.
I like to think I do.
I really do think I think sometimes when I am talking to someone, I'm like, what would him do in this situation? Like, what would you bring up to like, I don't know, liven the conversation or something? Because you do that a lot. You just like say something and then like it just goes like everyone like joins in kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know, like recently it comes down to like the whole thing with confidence, where sometimes I can lose my confidence and then I'll allow myself to like speak about things that are just not real.
Not real?
Well, silly things like telling myself negative things about myself. Okay. That's what I mean. They don't exist. They're not real. But that's the only difficulty in terms of that, like just the confidence part kind of slips out, and then I do forget that there are things that I've done before that I am grateful that I have done, that I have accomplished. And then the people around me, that's where the gratitude comes in, and just like trying to ground me down again. But yeah. What was the question about the boundaries? Was it
The boundaries, yeah, like setting healthy boundaries. And like, obviously we spoke about communicating your needs, and you feel like yours is more like wants and than needs, and then mine's about like, you know. I feel like when it comes to setting boundaries, I think I take a while to realise when a boundary is needed. And then when I do realise it, I kind of like microfeed it. Or I'm like, okay, need a boundary here, I'm going to do this. Need a boundary here, I'm going to do this. And then eventually it does work out in a way where like we both understand like, okay, we need to do this or do this better or whatever it is, you know. And I've been blessed in the sense that the people that I'm actually willing to have them boundaries with, they're healthy boundaries. It's not like, oh, I don't want to talk to you today, I don't want to see you today kind of thing. No, it's like, okay, we're both like have priorities, and at the moment in time we have other things going on that are also equally as important as spending time with each other. So it is like, for example, me with like applying to jobs, right? There'll be a certain amount of time where mum will be busy, and I will be like, okay, let me apply to jobs right now. Mum's busy, but then when she's free, I'm still doing something that I need to be doing over us watching TV or, you know, spending time together or whatever. I still make the time to spend time with mum, of course, but I know that she understands that if I'm doing something like applying to jobs that I know is something that I need to be doing right now, she knows that, okay, she's busy, she's on her laptop, whatever, and then we'll, obviously when I'm free and when she's free, we'll go and watch something. It's not like a complete, like, oh, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
No, it's like at this moment in time, I'm doing this right now. And it's not like I hope that's okay. Like, I know mum gets it.
Do you find it easy to celebrate your wins? And what I mean by that is, anything you accomplish, small or big, do you find it easy to celebrate?
I feel like there's like an instant celebration where you like a little cheer, you know, a little cry,
Yeah.
Because I'm a very expressive person with my emotions. But then it kind of wears off, and I'm thinking about the next big thing because I'm always asked about it. You know, when you're constantly being like, it feels like you're being pestered about what's next. Can't speak English. What's next?
Yeah.
But you're still in that moment, right? You're still like, oh my God, this has been my goal for however long I've existed on this planet, and I've finally done something about it, and I finally got there, right? But it's like, you're in your own pace, you're on your own pace, and everybody else is in their own pace or on their own pace. And so it's like, they're on to the next thing already. Like, oh, what's your plans now? Because they're excited for you. They want to know what's going on next. But sometimes I feel like I'm still in that, like, you know, like, still trying to celebrate what I've done, because I won't actually fully do that. But then there'll be times where I've forgotten that I've done something. And then when I'm thinking about it, when I'm deeping, I'm like, oh my God, like, I did that. Like, I did that shit. Like, I should have celebrated more. You know, I should have been on that more.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so sometimes I am conflicted with how much I do celebrate things, where I'm like, okay, instead of celebrating something, I was nervous about the next thing, or I was nervous about what's happening tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah.
But then there have been times where I'm like, okay, this is good for me. I did something good. I'm happy about it, and I'm celebrating. And then I'll be over the celebration and carry on.
Yeah.
It's just, it depends on what it is, you know?
Fair.
What about you?
No, I find it hard to celebrate. I don't know what it is. I mean, just recently I got good news, and then I wasn't as happy as I thought I would be. Or like, do you know when you get really happy and excited about something that's going on? And like, you're genuinely in this good bubble for a good like 5 minutes where you're like, oh my God, this is happening. And then you have this full, it's, a domino effect of like good positivity, of thinking good things. You know, you might have a good meal, then you're like, oh my God, I'm going to have this meal tonight. That's going to be amazing. You know what's amazing? I've got a family and I've got friends and all this stuff, like, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't feel that as often as I used to. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
And I'm still achieving a lot of things. I guess it's just a case of I feel like I've got a lot of things that I want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And I'm not putting a pressure on me, because it's not one of those things where it's not a matter of if, it's more of a matter of when.
100%.
I think I've just like compartmentalized everything to where even the celebrations, I should be celebrating as a big win, even if it is something as small as do my duvets in the morning or brushing my teeth, washing my face, or doing something for me.
Yeah.
They're the things that I should be celebrating more, even if it is a small celebration, because that'll pile up and it'll make you feel good throughout the day.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, I'm really good at celebrating the little things. Like, I'll literally have a little cheer and a dance because I've, like, changed my bed sheets or because I got up and I brushed my teeth in 20 minutes, you know, like, little things. Like, I'll look at the time and be like, oh, shit, I did that. Like, it took me, like, 20 minutes and I'm ready. I'm ready for work in 20 minutes. Cool. And I'll be happy about that, and it will have that knock-on effect. And then eventually I don't know, fall asleep again and wake up and be like, well, shit, I've just slept for 3 hours.
Well, that's your problem.
But then I'm able to pick it back up again. Yeah, that is my current problem I'm dealing with. But yeah, no, I think that's what it is. I'm better at celebrating the little things because the little things mean a lot to me. And so when the big things come around, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, woo, yay. And then I'm like...
See, but you should be celebrating your big things as well if your small things are celebrating like that. Because not everyone would celebrate those things. In fact, some people would think that's stupid. Or like, come on, be realistic. Is that an actual thing? They're things you should be doing, kind of thing.
Yeah, but even then, sometimes you still need that boost to do it. Like, I remember I was watching something and they were talking about when do you think you're about to, like, when you're mentally not there, when you feel like you're about to, like, I don't know, have a mental breakdown or something. And they were like, the first sign for them was, like, when they don't feel like getting up in the morning or when they get up, because obviously you have to get up, you have stuff to do, and they don't feel like brushing their teeth. And that's when they know for a fact, like, it's like an off day for them, or like, you know, that's like a sign of maybe you need some time to do something about it, you know, like, you know, just chill out or have a chill
or
day.
you think it's the time for you to change something.
Or that, yeah.
You know, if you're starting to get out of your routine that is good for you, you're like, okay, well, that's not good. Maybe the disciplinary is not there either. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think I don't know if you have this, but do you ever go through phases where you're like, you don't want to make plans with people, or you just don't want to?
It comes and goes, those feelings. Especially right now because I'm fucking broke as shit. It's like I don't wanna. I can't meet up with anyone. Somebody goes, yo, let's go for it. Yo, that's a really good idea. Let's put a pin in it. Let's go to the house and like let's spread potatoes. Yeah, we're good with that.
That is so funny and relatable, honestly. No, yeah, there.
That and then also, I just think it's all right though. It's okay though. Why do you feel that way?
I do. It fluctuates. There are times where I'm like, I kind of have to not force myself, but kind of force myself to get out of it. Where I'm like, no, you're making these plans. You're free that day. You're not gonna let the anxiety and not depression, but like the anxiety and like the laziness win.
Yeah.
You're going to go out and do something and you're going to go meet this friend because you want to meet them and it's been a while, you know?
Definitely. In those situations where you know it's good for you, you have to drag yourself out.
Oh, yeah. And most of the time I do it and I feel so much better after. I'm like, yes, I did something productive. I met up with someone that I missed and I love and I'm so happy about it.
And then it's just some people, when you do speak to them, you have this energy after you spoke to them, innit? But it's like, I needed that. I needed that thing.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And you know when you have them friendships where it's like the best thing you guys can do is like give it a couple of months and then when you finally meet up and then you just have this mass like catch up and you just both are ranting on both sides about things that have happened. They're the best.
Yeah. Question of the day. What do you want to be remembered for?
The way I loved.
Okay. So how loving you was?
Yeah. How loving you was.
Yeah, you said, I loved. Okay.
Yeah, I would have been dead, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, well, not necessarily. You could be remembered when you're just like away or something as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably for like, the way I love people with the things I do for them kind of thing, yeah.
But if someone someone else had to say how this person was, you'd want to be remembered for how much you loved them.
Yeah, like
or how you loved.
How I loved them, how I loved everyone.
How you cared for everyone.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that comes down to how much I love them as well, yeah.
Fair. I just want to, everyone in my life, as long as I impacted one person, I'm good. You know, that's where I am, to be honest. I've always said I want to save a life.
I want to save a life too.
Yeah, but and then in the way, what I mean, it could be whoever this video reaches, or anything that I've posted in the past.
Yeah.
If they felt, like I've improved their day or made their day a little better, those things, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I think I get that side of it, because, like, same. And also, it's just, like, it's strange, because that could happen and we could never know. Like, it could have already happened.
Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Share, subscribe, and like if you like it.
That was definitely not the order we normally did in.
Got it.
See you next week, guys.
Peace. Bye.